Hello, those out there in YouTube land. My name is Lavelle. I grew up all my life in the inner cities, and I plan to post a series of videos for those who are just like me. These videos are going to supersede any type of color line because you have black, white, Latino, and Asians in ghettos all around the world. So basically, these videos is for the have-nots. As we all know from the news, and even when you surf YouTube, is keep a lot of talk about this year 2012. Some people write it off as it's just propaganda. Other people say that it's going to be calamities, climate changes, shifting plates, while you have others speaking of aliens and things of that nature. But what I do see, I don't know what's true. I don't know in that aspect. But what I do sincerely believe, and this is only from me doing research, doing study, not just from YouTube, from books, what I have been seeing is it is a shift in consciousness. Whether this shift in consciousness is coming from above or whether this shift in consciousness is coming from the powers that be. Personally, I believe it's coming from the powers that be because from a rational point of view, I can understand where it's coming from. If you look at our country, America, we have fallen as far as education is concerned in the world. And the reality of it is the smartest run things. So how I believe the powers that be, they have analyzed our situation and they have also looked at our future if we continue on this destructive path. And from my observation, I truly believe that they have come up with the conclusion that things have to change. The people's consciousness has to be elevated, but at the same time, in order for them to inject this new knowledge, it's ancient knowledge, but it's new knowledge. But in order for them to inject it, they have to inject it through means that anybody could get their hands on. So there's an area of concern of what type of individuals get this knowledge. Also, how the powers that be is looking at it, they like point blank. They tired of holding people's hands. They're getting tired of people not contributing to the progression of the country. And I'm speaking of those that are on welfare. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes we just have hard times. But when you're on welfare 3 or 4 generations and you haven't made any attempt to educate your children so they can break the cycle and raise up and become productive individuals in society, well, the people in power, they like, man, it's time for the leeches to go. So what's going to be basically happen is we got a short doorway of time to educate yourself, change your morals, and change the way that you view things, and basically change your heart and get connected to the humanity. A lot of us, unfortunately, is not going to make this shift. But I'm thinking about that, the real good individuals, because I know it's still good people that's in the ghetto. They got good hearts that don't agree with the situations and the crime and the violence that's going on. So for you, I choose to make these videos. And in the course of these videos, I'll be pointing your direction to certain books and certain things that you can do that can not only elevate your conscience, but change you into an evolved being. Because this is what's going to be needed if you're going to make it. Now, of course, some of the information that I have discovered on my own journey, a lot of individuals, is nothing new. You have a lot of individuals from our communities that is brushing up on this information, and to be honest with you, they're going to make deals. They're making deals in the hopes that the man or the people in power, they don't want everybody knowing this information. Me, I'm 50-50 on that. I believe everybody shouldn't have this information because it's some powerful information, and in the wrong hands it could be deadly. You see what I'm saying? But one thing that we have to do, if y'all going to take this journey with me, You have to leave the violence and the racism, you have to leave it out the door. Because here's the thing, if you look at it, a lot of people that's in power, how they're looking at it is they don't feel as though that in general black men are not strong enough to get over the whole slavery issue. And this is an area of concern, because when you go on this journey and you get to uncovering stuff, it's going to be, do you have the ability to hold it? Are you strong enough to let the past be the past and move on to the future? Because from their perspective, they like, if you're not strong enough for it, then you got to go. Now, and I know you got your militants out there that's screaming revolution and all that. Look, trust me, I'm far, far from a coward. I have had my track record of putting in work. I'm telling you now, they're not worried about you. They're not worried about you. The guns you get come from avenues that they make the guns. So it's nothing that you could do. You don't have real military training. It's going to be, it's a setup. So you might as well not even go down that road. So this is, like I said, this is for those sincere, good people. Got good in their heart. It's not about a white and black thing. It's about raising our consciousness and catching on this new wave, because everything is drastically going to change from the way they do business and everything. And if you're latching on to a dead culture, and if you can't open up your mind, you're going to go and you're just going to be another relic with the past. They have been discovering stuff. They had taken consciousness to bounds that's unbelievable. Yeah, now I know you're saying, well, the foundation that they use is an ancient foundation, but trust me, they have taken this boundary to places that you wouldn't know. And if you don't understand the decoded language, and if you can't see the decoded language, then you're just going to be trapped in the matrix. This is for those who want out of the matrix. And I say it not in a rebellious, not in a revolutionary tone. I'm just saying it just out of good spirit. And this is a hand down for the good people that are in these rough conditions but want to change their situation. It's all about motivation. It's all about elevation. And I plan to put myself out there as an example. Right now, I'm a writer. I have nothing published, but I'll be making videos. I'm making step by step. There's avenues that we can use that don't cost a lot of money. If you have any talent, now is the time with technology. You could bring your dreams into reality. Now is the time to move forward. You cannot waste time sleeping. You cannot waste time on drugs. I'm telling you, you're going to lose. So if you want to win, if you want life, now is the time. So with that said, I'm going to close out on this video right here. But in the next future videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be leading you through some of these waters, pointing out some books that you can read that instantly raise your conscience. Because there's a lot of free books out there that you can download off of the internet. But if you don't know what you're getting into, you'll just be running around in circles. And you have a lot of people that's on the net, they're getting paid just to have you running around in circles. So with that said and done, I'll see you on the next video.